Hi, I'm Dave Shen. I'm an original strength coach based in the San Francisco Bay Area. Today I'd like to talk to you about how to generate intra-abdominal pressure and how to potentially integrate that more with athletics and other types of movement. So hopefully by now you've gone through my videos on transforming yourself from primarily being a chest and shoulder clavicular breathing breather to more of a belly breathing. And then after you've done that, then you've had some notion about how to generate intra-abdominal pressure using your fingers being stuck in strategic places in your, down here and underneath your sides at the ribs and in the back underneath the ribs. So now I'd like to show you another drill that I've been using. Dr. Kathleen Dooley out of New York, great therapist that I've been working with, has shown me this, so I thought I'd show this to you because it's worked really well. So, the thing is, the setup is simply lie down on the ground like this, okay? Have your feet up, your knees up like that. All you have to do is take your fingers and just lightly push them in. You have your ASIS joints here. That is the fronts of your hip joints sitting right here, probably around here. And right to the inside of that, it's relatively soft, okay? So find those bony protrusions, then move inward from there, okay? And similar to the last drill video of the drill that I had for breathing, all you do is simply this for a little while. Now the goal is to see if you can, as you breathe in, push your fingers out as far down as possible here. So we've moved from right around here, right around the ribs and underneath the ribs. Now we're trying to move that pressure generation further down, all the way down to the pelvis. So a good way of doing that is take your two fingers, stick them in by the ASIS joints, breathe in, and see if you can push the fingers out. Relax, breathe out. Now, the nice thing about being on the floor is that you can use the floor to give you some proprioception about whether or not you're actually increasing the pressure on all sides of your body. So when I breathe in, I also want to feel my back contacting more strongly the floor itself. So I breathe in, and this is, of course, you can't see this, but actually this, I feel pressure between my low back and the floor itself, okay? If I release, I can get a little bit more air, okay, because the spine is curved. I shouldn't be completely flat against the floor. That's the spine now being a little bit what they call kyphotic. So it's curving in this concave way. It should be up just a tiny bit, but when I breathe in, I want to feel the pressure increased so that I can feel my lower back touching the floor here. So I do this a few times. I've done it probably up to 20 times. Then let's challenge it further. So take a deep breath in, increase the IAP, then lift the legs up to 90-90. Okay, 90 degrees here, 90 degrees here. Now the challenge is, did my low back shift when I do that? Did the space all of a sudden go up? So sometimes what happens is when you lift your legs up by arch, right, to bring them up. It's like, well, that's not what we want because proper pressure generation, intra-abdominal pressure generation, means I should be able to keep this part completely steady, stable, unchanging in shape as I move the legs up. Take a deep breath in, get that pressure going, feeling this, then kind of lift both feet off the ground. Put it down, okay? So that might be challenging enough for you just to lift that up, okay? Now, if that's too hard for you, you can also try lifting one leg up, that with the support leg down, one of them down, This will be a lot easier probably, although sometimes when some people do this, they will still arch up. And oftentimes it's just arching up one side, potentially once the side of the down leg will still be in contact, but this side is actually arching up. So half of you is arching up, but not the other half. So if you find the two legs going up is too hard, try one leg and see if you can make sure you can get that. So take a deep breath in. Let the breath out. Take a deep breath in. Again, remember, feeling the pressure down there. Lift that leg up, back down. Okay? So, if you can do that, challenge yourself by taking a deep breath in, and then lifting both knees up without any shift in the pressure feeling of the lower torso here. Okay? Do that a few times. Then, to challenge yourself even further, see if you can take one leg out and back in again. So that increases the lever arm, at the hip. More force, bending force coming up on your lower torso here. But with good IAP generation, you should be able to stick that leg all the way out. So here's what it sort of looks like. Take a deep breath in, up. Okay. Now, a couple points. So I held my breath the whole time I did that. So when you hold your breath, you're holding the air in, that helps the diaphragm keep the pressure on. Okay? So in some sense, the move is easier. Another thing to note is as the leg moves out, the lever arm increases the force on the hip. So what you want to be aware of is, did I start shaking? So when I first started doing this, I was going all shaking around here as my muscles were trying to maintain this, as I was also trying to maintain the pressure as well. So it's a learning process. The shaking is just simply your nervous system learning how to do this. So go out only as you can, touch that shaking point. Don't go all the way out and start going vibrating like crazy just to get the length. But touch it every now and then, and eventually I think you'll find you can go all the way out. Now another important point is, if you hear or feel any clicking in the hip, that's not good. So let's say I do this, and I hear a click, that's as far as you go. Because that's something in your hip. Most likely this guy's shifting, okay? This guy's arching up, and it's causing some tendon or muscle to hop over something. And that's not what we want. So be very wary of that. If you keep rubbing that, you may actually irritate some tendon or muscle. But to get rid of it, you got to have good IAP, maintain that pressure of the lower back against the floor the whole time. And you should be able to do it without any clicking. So if this is as far as you can go, I just even felt a click there, that's as far as I go, I bring it back. Okay? The next level that you can think of is what happens if I breathe out? Okay, so the challenge is, can I maintain some level of IAP, enough control over these stabilization muscles, even as I breathe out? Okay, so then I breathe in, I feel the pressure with my fingers and on my low back against the floor, bring the legs up, no shifting, then I breathe out as I push the leg out. So I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but actually I was starting to shake because as I breathe out, I'm challenging the stabilization of the system because the air is causing my diaphragm to come up, right? So, but as you're doing athletic movements, it is always advantageous to breathe. You can't hold your breath forever. So it's good. It's worthwhile to learn not only holding IAP with breath holding, but also to learn how to hold it even as you're letting some air out. So trick to this is, well, don't let all your air out, because oftentimes when we are doing breathing practice, we kind of go, and then, and as we relax, as we put all the air out, we just simply completely relax. And that's fine for breathing practice, there's nothing wrong with that. But now we're moving into hopefully a phase of, well, how do we apply this to more athletic movements, and how do we stabilize better? So again, take a deep breath in, feel the pressure here, my fingers are getting pushed out here, go up. Okay, and that's it. You can do this like a warm-up for me. Oftentimes I'll lay down like this. I will take 20, 25, 30 breaths, making sure that these are coming up, and also I feel the pressure in my back, making sure these are coming up evenly. I had a problem with stabilization only on my left side, not on my right, where literally my right fingers would push out first, and then the left would be late. So try to get both sides going up at the same time. And a tip for getting that done is just send your focus down to that one side as you're breathing in, and I think that is often enough to make both come up at the same time. You can do this 20 to 30 times, and then after that I move into practice one leg at a time, breath holding, hopefully no clicks. Do I feel this guy shifting as I move out? That means I have to get better at IAP generation on one or both sides. Take a deep breath in. Okay, and then I do that leg movement 2 to 4, 6 times, one on each side like that. And that usually gets me warmed up pretty nicely for whatever I have to do, kettlebells or whatever. Okay, have fun with your IAP generation practice, and hopefully we'll have more things to do later on.